was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, you know, telling me they love me and, you know, just turn their back on you in a second.
A lot of answers. We have some answers, but there's a lot of answers that we still need. And as we know, things seem uncertain.
Bad boy, bad boy.
I had a lot of money and a lot of things, so then you have all these people around me just kind of hanging on, wanting stuff from me, knowing that, like, I was living this lifestyle that they also wanted to live.
Well, okay. I'm a fan, actually. I'm not one of them, I swear to God.
No, just asking what kind of juice you like.
I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody.
On April 14th, Justin Bieber surprised the Coachella crowd when he joined another artist on stage for a song, and although pleasantly delighting his fans, his recent music show appearance also sparked concern amongst a lot of people because they were kind of worried about him spiraling again. This singer has had a roller coaster's worth of a journey with severe ups and downs, at least according to sources that have told the media. Well, when you think about it, he's grappled with Lyme disease, depression, anger management, and he's previously acknowledged his frequent intake of substances, as well as his reliance on some pretty heavy things during his rock bottom moments. Now, insiders have also proclaimed that Coachella was indeed a huge accomplishment for Justin, but he's still very fragile. Now, the ongoing lawsuits that are fixated on blowing the lid off of Puff Daddy have also tapped Justin's name now and then, so with a lot of videos featuring Puffy blasting into the present from the past and going viral upon resurfacing, a concerning vision of Justin's early days in Hollywood have also come into focus. Multiple re-emerging clips have focused on unhealthy and creepy looks at Justin's connection with Puffy in his early days as a star who rose to fame. His fans have raised fears of Justin possibly having witnessed the worst and darkest sides of Hollywood, especially with more and more cases of ickiness coming into light. A lot of folks worry about how Justin's spiraling mental health at present could maybe be attributed to the unspoken heinous misconduct that might have happened behind the curtains. So folks, to put it simply, if we're putting two and two together, Justin's fans have been on the edge online and have frequently voiced their anxious thoughts. And adding to the hot mess, Bieber took to his Instagram account on April 27th to share a bunch of photos, and two of which were very worrying because a lot of folks noticed in those photos his eyes were filling up with tears. Now, sharing multiple posts on Instagram, he also showered his loved ones from the industry with a lot of adoration, and he shared an endless streak of photos of the members of his found family, including his wife, his longtime buddies, and many others. But we gotta go back to the tears, because even though those other posts were bubbling with energy and happiness, with a lot of clicks capturing him in his element on stage or leisurely golfing and making the most of Serenity by the Beach, fans like myself just couldn't ignore those two photos where you can see his eyes welling up, linking it all with the unsaid truth and the potential horror of being exposed to showbiz at a young age. Worried fans correlated his gloomy mood in the photos to him crying out for help. Comments like, "I feel for him, he's crying out for help," and Lord only knows what his parents allowed to happen to him just for fame, have become common staples on social media. Now, somebody did say, but he'll heal. I pray he does. Only God truly knows the monstrosity he had to face as the first ever young YouTube star. And a lot of folks were praying for his well-being, saying they really hope he's okay. He's had quite the life. A lot of fans have resorted to finding hidden meanings in his previous music releases, saying it's so sad he went through those things. If you listen to Lonely, you'll get what he meant. Now, despite being out of the loop about the reality in the case, a general response is just seeing the smile gradually fading from Justin's face over the years. A lot of folks are like, really, what's happening to Justin? He was so lively and happy in his earlier days. I hope he's okay. So to reference what I said earlier, I think the most disturbing thing is a lot of the resurfaced videos of Puff Daddy with Justin Bieber, and he's telling the camera that he's been given custody of Justin for 48 hours. Now, the clip that we can't show begins with Puff Daddy showing Bieber his sports car and was like, you can drive that once you can drive. And he's like, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Well, right now, Justin's having 48 hours with me. Now, we're having the time of our lives, we're hanging out, we're doing things we can't really disclose. And he's like, I've been given custody of him, which is an interesting phrase. He's like, he's signed to Usher. I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album, which, once again, not something that gives you the warm and fuzzies. So then Puff Daddy asks Bieber what he wants to do, and Bieber's like, let's go get some girls. And the rapper's like, oh, man after my heart. Now another clip taken in 2010 when Justin was older shows the singer stuttering and looking uncomfortable as Puffy's like, hey, why don't we hang out anymore? Well, in a 2023 YouTube video titled Justin Bieber's Mom Speaks Out, Bieber's mother claimed that the rapper offered Bieber all sorts of substances at his parties, and she was forced to intervene to protect her son. Well, if we're going back to 2021, there's some strange footage of the duo on, hanging out, and Puffy is patting his fingers on Bieber's chest, the other hand rests on his upper arm, and then he bops the other side of Justin's chest before going into a hug and whispering something, and all of it, just looking at it, makes me want to take a shower because it's just so gross. There's a video of Justin being touched and by various celebrities when he was around like 18, and it's left a lot of folks shocked and uncomfortable. So while you might be in denial about how many years it's been since Bieber first entered the spotlight, it's a cold hard fact that Justin was kinda younger when he released the hit song Baby. His position as a global pop star meant that he was often caught on camera, and there's one video compiling some of the encounters he had with other A-listers that has really sparked debate over the way Justin was treated as he rose to fame. So the video, which was shared on TikTok, this whole compilation, features a series of clips of people interacting with Justin while he appears to react uncomfortably. And as the shocking compilation continued, a lot of folks described all of this as gross and disturbing. One viewer said they felt bad for overlooking his discomfort, another was like Bieber should never have had to go through all of that. Back in 2019, Justin Bieber opened up on Instagram about his battle with depression, the diagnosis of which was publicly confirmed in February of that year, and he wrote in the caption, just wanted to keep you guys updated, been struggling a lot, just feeling super disconnected and weird. Now this was an important step in his recovery, and although the star, who once again quickly rose to fame when he was kind of on the younger side of life, isn't worried about himself, saying I always bounce back, so I'm not just worried, just wanted to reach out and ask for you guys to pray for me, he did add that like, hey, now you gotta add that like, folks, we as onlookers should not dismiss his bravery, we should be taking this admission very seriously. One prominent psychologist put it best, saying, I think young stars can be too easily influenced by the machine of stardom and fame and not realize that all that is being offered isn't actually in their interest. This can lead to feeling lost and overwhelmed and losing connection with self and others, which makes them particularly vulnerable to mental health problems. So for Bieber, even though his opening up was, very brave and courageous, it is a real indication that it is also a real indication that, he is committed to his path of well-being. He's stepping up to be a role model for others, and he is sharing his lived experience of mental health difficulties and highlighting that there is no shame in being vulnerable. He's demonstrating that even if you lose yourself or lose your way, you can always find your way back to an authentic life. To us, average people, it might seem as though Bieber isn't from our universe. His issues couldn't have any impact on our daily lives, but they do, even if it is symbolically. And that's all, folks. See you next time.